I'm interested to get your perspective on, okay, this defensive front has been one of the best in college football for what, about 4 years?
Yeah, I
Something in
would
that
say since
range?
Manny Diaz got here, 2016.
There you go. So that was a 9-4 team. They won 10 games the next year. We know what the deal's been the last 2 years, but the defensive front has been one of the best in the nation. Now we add a Quincy Roche, and obviously you're talking about the run stuffers and that push to the pocket in the middle. You're talking about the speed on the edge with Roche and with Russo. How much, I got a two-parter for you, how much does that help Rousseau that the offensive line isn't just pointed in his direction where he's got another stud on the other end, another one to deal with. And then in addition to losing all that experience at linebacker, where the linebacking position might be a little bit more athletic, but maybe not quite as, definitely not as experienced to make plays.
All right, so I'll start out with Greg. I genuinely think that that's going to really free up Roche. And Greg is going to have, and I don't like doing this because I don't think that it's going to be a big step down. But, I mean, it's rarely ever that you see someone follow up 15.5 with anything really close to that at the collegiate level because of the fact that they'll spend a whole offseason focusing and honing in on what you did, especially in your conference. So Roche is going to, against the left tackle as our weak side defense, and he's going to have a lot of more one-on-one. He may get a chuck from a back every now and again, but everyone's going to make sure the 6'6" guy isn't taking over the game as opposed to the 6'2.5" guy taking over the football game. Now, something else that is going to really help Greg Rousseau is the interior pass rush. And we find lots of ways to use them. Now, I've done a lot more breakdowns of Greg recently that I'll be releasing on my channel, a 3-part series with him versus Pittsburgh, Virginia, and Tallahassee, where I break down why and what moves he's using and what's going on, the offensive tackle sets, when they're moving backs over there, tight ends. And you see the reason why I picked those 3 games is because they're at different points in the season to where he had a lot of one-on-ones early on, and then midway through, people started realizing who this guy is. By the time you got to Tallahassee towards the end of the season, it's some film of him with real triple teams. I mean, the right guard, the right tackle, and the tight end comes across to chip him. So it's really nice to get that breakdown and understand why he wasn't making all of these plays towards the end. Is because people were triple and double teaming him a lot. Now, you talk about your big elite players, you still have to make plays even when you're double and triple teamed. And that's something that Greg he's going to get used to doing. But I'm going to need Nasty Nesta Silvera. I'm going to need John Ford. I'm going to need Jordan Miller, who are our interior guys. We're going to need them to make that next step. Because not only does that help Greg Rousseau and Quincy Roche and Jalen Phillips and Javari Harvey on the exterior, rushing the passer. But what that does is it helps in a 4-2-5 scheme because the box is one less. Now it's a 6 box instead of a 7-man box. So that means these linebackers have to pick up more gaps in assignment as far as being able to scrape and make plays sideline to sideline a little bit more. So that means the guards can't climb to our linebackers because then they're not able to properly scrape over and get to C gaps or get to stretch plays because you're going to need your interior lineman to take that next step up, whether that be backdooring plays and shooting gaps and making plays solo, which is similar to what Gerald Willis III did here at Miami, as opposed to him holding the gaps and making linebackers shoot, as opposed to what Jordan Miller and John Ford did this past season when they were really holding gaps and trying to let our linebackers scrape. So we're going to need them to start making plays on the interior because we have the athletes now at linebacker that are going to be able to go sideline to sideline. I don't really see too many toss or stretch plays being able to outflank us with the athleticism that we have now with Avery Huff and Zach McLeod, who is a combination of both. He's had experience and he's more athletic than both our previous starting 2 inside linebackers. So, that's kind of my long spiel on your 2-part question, but I think the interior is key to both the edge rush presence at Miami, the edge playing presence at Miami, and the inexperience and combating the inexperience of the two inside linebackers for Miami moving forward.